This technology is called Edmodo, and I found this website just in some Google searching, looking for kind of student connection platforms. So this looks kind of like a newsfeed, almost like a Facebook or kind of like our Google community, but it's specifically for creating assignments and kind of putting everything in one place for the students. So the reason that I selected this is I watched a couple videos on it, and it seemed like it would be a really useful tool to incorporate everything that the students have to do, kind of like a Google Classroom, but I think this is a little bit more user-friendly because everything is in a stream, there's a calendar, you can send messages, whereas Google Classroom kind of jumps around and takes you to your email or takes you to your Google Calendar. The intended purpose or the goals of this would be to replace my class website. I have a class website that I use that's just a Google website that I built, or to be able to connect parents a little bit more effectively. So the intended audience for this will be parents or students. If you look in here, if you go to your members, so I added my other email as kind of my student account on this, I can go through and I can connect a parent and add them to this. So when you add them to this, they're able to see a little bit more than what they would see in Google Classroom. So here they would be able to see the posts, they'd be able to see the due dates, they'd be able to see the calendar. Parents, I haven't tried, I don't think parents can communicate on the discussion board unless you allow them to. But they would be able to see what their students are posting, what I'm posting. Students here can find quizzes, polls, assignments, anything you put in there. The SD standards for educational readers that I think this falls under would be 2D, because this allows me to communicate with parents who are stakeholders in their children's education to kind of further that same academic goal or same academic achievement. And by seeing what I'm asking the kids to do or seeing what is expected of them, the parents are more involved in that. I would also think that it falls under 1D by starting a discussion and modeling this responsible online behavior. I feel like that fosters an environment for that. We've been told over and over and over again in education classes to model what you want your students to do. So by engaging them here in responsible online discussion and assignments, I feel like that falls under that 1D ISTE standard. I created this finished product just honestly by following their tutorial. They do everything, they go through everything, how to name your class, how to create the class. If I go in the calendar, they have you go through and make your first quiz, make your first assignment, an agenda for the week. So like if you view the agenda, the students can go in here specifically and say, this is when this is due, this is when this is due, and it kind of makes a list for them versus just the calendar view. If they click into these assignments, they can go into and see, I have no submissions in there right now, but I can see, who has taken it. I can see if they've even viewed it or not. So it kind of gives me just a better, progress or check on how or what my students are doing. So I just really liked overall what this software had to offer and just how condensed and how connected all of the pieces were.